Welcome everybody to another edition of the Nick Saban Show, brought to you by Truckworks. I'm Chris Stewart, along with the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Coach, certainly one of the more unusual ways that we've done this, but thankfully we're talking about a win. 42-13, great win over Auburn.
Well, it is a great win, and certainly, demonstrates a lot of character on our players' part to have another disruption, me not being there, to overcome, and they showed great resiliency in the way they did that. I was really happy for our seniors who played the last game in Bryant-Denny Stadium today, and to have a win over Auburn is something that they'll remember for a long, long time. I think probably most of our players get asked at some point down the road, what was your record against Auburn? So it's a good thing that we bounced back from last year and got a win today. I was really proud of the way our guys competed in the game. I was really proud of the way they made plays on offense when we needed to. I got stops on defense when we needed to. And, so we beat a top 25 team. So I think that's always a good win for you, especially one that means as much as it does to so many people in our state.
Coach, I should have led with this, and I apologize, but first things first, or second things second, I guess now. How are you feeling? I know a lot of people have asked.
I appreciate you asking, but I feel really, really good. Don't even have as much as a cold now. So, hopefully the worst is past us, but I'm still going to take care of myself here for the next few days, and hopefully I'll be able to get back this week.
Coach, and let's get into those first half highlights.
Play action fake, then he pumps, throws long, Devontae wide open, he is so wide open, it's unbelievable, touchdown Alabama, 66 yards, I mean, folks, seriously, he could have stopped and read War and Peace, and they still wouldn't have been able to catch up with him, touchdown Alabama. Here now, the fake and the throw. Mack across the middle. Touchdown, Alabama, John Mechie. Nice play action fake. And then Mack tees it up to John Mechie. Off the near hash mark. Kick will be going left to right. It's on the way. It is up. And it is good. So a 47-yard field goal by Anders Carlson. Here's a second down. Mack looks. Mack's in trouble. Mack stands in. Throws to Billingsley. Touchdown, Alabama. Touchdown, Alabama. 24 yards. Mac Jones to Jaleel Billingsley. And Alabama pads their lead to 20-3. Alabama leads 21-3. Nix looks, throws far side. Intercepted Alabama. Malachi Moore picks it off.
Coach, 21-3 at the half. Your thoughts?
Well, we made some good plays. Obviously, Smitty had a great half. Mack played well, made some explosive plays on offense. Defense got them stopped when they needed to, so we held them to just 3 points. But, what I was most concerned about was third down. We were like 1 for 3 or something like that on third down on offense, which, stalled a couple drives. And they were like 5 of 11. And we had some opportunities that we could have got off the field on third down and didn't. And that's why it extended drives and really changed field position in the game. So that was something I was worried about. And me, I'm always 60 minutes, man. 21-3 is nothing in this day and age of football, especially with an explosive offense, which they have with their quarterback. Bo does a really good job. He can make lots of plays. He made some plays today that were fantastic plays. So got to stay on your toes for 60 minutes, and that's what I was most concerned about.
All right, Coach, we've got more coming up. Stay with us right here on The Nick Saban Show.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. And by Red Diamond, the official coffee and tea of the Crimson Tide.
Well, Coach, 21-3 at the half. This is normally where you tell us what you tell the team at halftime. You couldn't talk to them, but telepathically, what were you telling them in your mind at the intermission?
I actually talked to Sark. Sark actually asked me, he said, tell me what you want the message to be, before the game, halftime and all that. And, I said, number one, everybody's got to be all in and we got to play together as a team. Number two, everybody's got to be responsible and accountable to go out there and do their job with tremendous discipline, effort, and toughness. And then we got to do it one play at a time for 60 minutes in the game. And everybody's got to expect a tough game. We're going to have to overcome some adversity in the game. And none of that changes at halftime. I wasn't there. I didn't hear what was said, but I'm sure it was something along those lines.
All right, Coach, let's get into those second half highlights.
This is a 45-yard try. There's the field goal try to our right, which is up, and it is good. 1st and 10 from the 42. Forrestall now comes towards the formation. Here's Mack with a slant behind the defense. Devontae Smith accelerates down the right side, turns on the afterburners. He is in. Touchdown, Alabama. 58 yards. Mac Jones, Devontae Smith. Well thrown, well caught. Didn't hurt to have a little extra speed in reserve. And Alabama's lead is now 27-6. Off the near hash mark, kick on the way. It has leg. It is no good from the 39 of Auburn. The give, Najee, big hole, right side. He takes off, leaves a shoe behind, and he's in for a touchdown. 39 yards. Play clock at 3, 2. They get the snap away. Looking right side. Mechie behind the defense. Touchdown, Alabama. 24 yards. 24 yards. Mac Jones to Mechie, and that was a beautifully thrown and caught ball. Stove takes a 2-step drop to the right side of the formation. Intercepted Alabama. A quick throw. Brian Branch pulls it down. Spins back to the 10 and is taken down by Bo Nix after another interception for the Crimson Tide. Goes to the far side. Quarterback keeper. He is in for a touchdown. 1-yard run for Bo Nix.
Coach, 42-13, the final score. Great win once again for your squad.
It is a great win, and you always like the finish. When we got the interception and ran down to the 4-yard line, and then we fumbled and they went 94 yards. For a touchdown, and their only touchdown of the game. But if you take that out, that little bit out, I was really, really just so pleased with the way our guys competed in this game, the way we played in this game, how hard we played in the game, the energy, the enthusiasm that we played with. I couldn't tell what the atmosphere was in the stadium, but everybody tells me it was tremendous, and we appreciate that. The Iron Bowl is one of the great rivalries in college football. And it is that way because there's so many people that have so much passion, for this game. So for the players to share in that passion and share in that enthusiasm and excitement of having the opportunity to have success in the game, I think is something really special that I wanted for our players and our fans. And I'm so glad we were able to bring that to fruition today because of what our entire staff and all of our players really and our fans contributed to. So really, really an exciting win. We had lots of guys play great. Smitty played great. Mac played great. Other than that one drive, the defense really played well in the game. So, and I'm sure that when we look at the film, you always look at it with a critical eye. And, great competitors and people who want to really be good, they respect the critical eye. They want you to help them do things that they need to do to get better because they have goals, they have aspirations, and they want you to try to help them get there. So our team has put themselves in a position where I hope everybody has that kind of sort of attitude about how we move forward so that we can continue to improve.
42-13, again, the final score. The Tide rolls. Top-ranked team in America stays undefeated on the season. We've got more coming up. Stay with us right here on The Nick Saban Show.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. By Coca-Cola, together tastes better. And by Aflac. Get to know us at aflac.com.
Coach, where was the turning point for you in this one?
I think it was probably in the third quarter when they cut it to 21-6. Our offense goes back and responds. Smitty makes a big play, touchdown. Mac throws a touchdown pass. Smitty catches and runs for a long touchdown. Defense comes back in. They hold them to a missed field goal. Najee hits a long run, so it goes 28-6. Then it goes 35-6, and I think that was probably that little sequence there was the difference in the game because at 21-6, anything could have happened, and our offense responded great, and the defense got off the field when they needed to.
Coach, your medical staff is second to none in the country. You got wonderful people in addition to great professionals. It's headed up by Jeff Allen, Ginger Childress as well. Coach, just your thoughts on what they're able to do for you.
Well, I don't think there's a better medical staff in the country. I think it starts at the top with, Dr. Kane, Dr. Andrews when needed. And, the people we have internally, Jeff Allen, Ginger, Jeremy. I think the number one thing that tells you what a great medical staff you have is when the players have trust in the medical staff. And I think that's imperative to have a successful program. And you have to have knowledge, expertise, and build relationships with players as a medical staff to get that trust. And we certainly have that. And I don't think there's a better trainer in the country than Jeff Allen. Ability to communicate with players, his character as a person, the shop that he runs, the great job that he does in helping our players when they are injured. I think they all have a tremendous amount of gratitude for what Jeff Allen does.
Coach, we're going to go Mercedes-Benz All Access.
It's been a crazy year, to say the least, for our staff from a medical standpoint. Normally, I've been doing this a long time, and normally you think you're busy just dealing with injuries. And now adding COVID on top of it, every day presents new challenges, and it's required us to really stay on top of our game from an organization standpoint and how we manage the normal day-to-day issues that we have, but also how we have to manage COVID and what we have to do to hopefully decrease the risk of problems within our team and within our organization, and how we have to manage the positive cases that we get. If you look at what we've been dealing with as a country since March, the mental health issues have really gone up because these have been unprecedented times. The nice thing here, though, that's really helped us is Coach Saban has always been a big believer and a big proponent of mental health and making sure that we have all the resources that we need to deal with any issue that we face in that area. And it really starts with Dr. Ginger Gilmore Childress. Ginger does a phenomenal job of taking care of all of our sports, and in particular football. She's an athletic trainer. She also has her PhD in behavioral health, and she is really on top of this area, utilizing every resource that we have. We have a great group of counselors and psychologists and psychiatrists to serve all of our mental health needs. And it's nice that we've had all those resources in place prior to this issue, and really the reason for that is because Coach Saban is such a proponent of it and has stressed it as long as we've been here. So this is an area that we've been focused on for a long, long time, really all 14 years that he's been here, that we've grown this area, and this year it's really paid off for us, and Ginger has done an amazing job of leading that for us.
Coach, time for our KS Services game analysis. Tell us what one of the key plays in this one was for you.
Okay, so we're in a bunch here, okay, because we anticipate that this team is going to play man-to-man, and very few teams that play man-to-man will have a middle-of-the-field safety. But yet we're in a bunch, so they're going to try to leverage the bunch on Mechie from outside in, which you see the corner right here. All right, now this is really like an RPO play action pass off a counter. So we're going to run counter OY, which means 65 and 86 are going to pull. Mechie's going to go out like he's going to block 23, who's going to try to stay outside, but there's no middle of the field safety. Mac's going to make a really good fake, all right, and then he's just going to lob the ball right up. All right, so if we let this run now, you see him act like he's stalking the guy. The guy's outside in on him. Now he runs a little post, and there is no middle of the field safety, so there's a post there. So I'd like to show you this on the close-up so you can see the run action. All right, that's really going to influence all these backers. All right, and 21 really has 85, so he has to jump over, all right, because we're running counter. All right, so he can't help the guy. All right, so it really is a well-designed play by our offensive coordinator. All right, and it doesn't work if they play a different coverage. A lot of plays in the red area, we can, we kind of look and see what they're in, and then we know what we want to run. So that one was one that worked really, really well for us.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by the University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Coach, a very different senior day, but one of the young men that we had an opportunity to honor was a fifth-year senior in Deontay Brown, left guard out of Decatur, Alabama.
Well, Deontay's played really good football for us. He's a big, old, powerful guy. He's got great ability to bend and strike and explode out of his hips. Gets a lot of movement, but he's very, very athletic. But he is one of the guys that I challenge to cover every day in flex that I can still cover. So he probably doesn't like me saying that, but he has been a really, really good player for us. I'm proud of him that he's graduating, and he's come a long way as a player. He's come a long way as a person, and I think this guy has a bright future.
Our senior spotlight is on Deontay Brown.
Deontay Brown, I'm officer guard from Decatur, Alabama. I chose to come to Alabama because of the tradition with football, starting against LSU. Specifically, one of my pull blocks, I had pulled hit somebody, and I just ran like 35, 40 yards down the field, and I ran and got on top of the pile and push people. So yeah, that was one of my best moments. It's a lot of pride that comes with the A, but there is some pressure to hold yourself to a certain standard, and I believe that's what I fell in love with the most, was not competing against other people, but competing with yourself to be the standard.
Time to eat, baby.
Thanks for supporting us. Really appreciate all the support through the COVID and everything that they have showed us, and they haven't wavered, and I really appreciate that.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by Aflac. Get to know us at aflac.com.
Coach, time to take a look at what's next, and that is LSU this weekend.
Well, we had a little extra time with the canceled game to, practice against all the teams that we knew we were going to play. So we practiced some against Arkansas. We thought we were going to play LSU, so we actually had 3 days of preparation for that game. So this won't be an abnormal week for us. I think it's going to be important that if we can keep playing, that we don't wear our team out down the road. So we really got to do a good job of managing reps so that we can get people healthy and have guys playing 100% when we get to the game. But I think our players will bounce back from this, today, enjoy it for 24 hours and get back to work on Monday.
Coach, thank you for the time as always. Congratulations on the 42-13 win over Auburn, and we'll see everybody next time right here on The Nick Saban Show.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Together tastes better. By the University of Alabama, where legends are made. And by Trustmark, people you trust, advice that works.